did see a lot from Mad Lions in domestic. Was not going to be the case.
Okay.
BB bringing out the Camille.
I don't know if I like this. Like, Camille is a very dive-centric champion against active and spend a lot of time just roaming around and working with your team.
Well, we've got a Zenith Blade in towards the bottom side of the map. Mickey trying to keep them at bay, but Hansama taking so much damage. Jackie gonna have to back away as Mako's flashing. Immediate flash to follow from Hansama, and there's first blood in the 2v2. This was a top esports win condition, and they're getting crushed.
This is not the way it's supposed to go at all in the bottom side of the map.
My bingo card's upside down.
Hans and Mickey getting the 2v2 first blood is huge because we already looked at mid. Caps having that early advantage.
Oh, we knew
no way.
Mickey just executes.
Real threats. As now, the gank we were talking about appearing in bot.
Yeah, there it is once again. Yike turning up, and Hansama, he is hopping mad. Jackie, nowhere he can go. Mako just gonna have to walk away from it.
Yike, the flash forward to get the Q. Because you can see where Mako was positioned. He'd set up for the play, but now BB needs to get out of here.
369 going aggressive, does get him a nice little shield there, does Broken Blade. Now underneath his turret, Tien just biding his time, finally does just hold that wave, looking to get that crash. So under 200 health, let's see whether Broken Blade can keep himself alive. He's just gonna try and deny the assist, and that will be successful at least.
It's all you can really do in that situation. Doesn't burn the flash, knows that he doesn't have the slingshot available as well, so just decides to back it on up. G2 will get Dragon in response, but at least it's something.
Outside of that kill that 369 was able to find, Hansama often finds himself on the weak side. Right now, it's to help secure the grubs for his team, which they should be able to lock down.
Yep, Tien does get the bad news.
They clearly aren't too concerned about the deficit they find themselves in now. The Dragon spawning in a minute's time. Caps.
Oh yeah, Caps just gonna have to buffer the rocket jump. Does so very nicely halfway through the Emperor's Divide. And now Daisy's gonna make her way out onto the mid lane. Still Caps gonna have to flash this shot. Doesn't even get the auto off. Oh no, and now Creamy could be in trouble. Yike looking for another one, and there it is. Hansama locks down the kill. Trying to figure out exactly where that Dragon is. They are now looking for the rear exit. And TES will make their way forward. Okay, Daisy getting involved first as the Dragon going down very low. In goes Mickey, Solar Flare is gonna land, and there goes the jungler. Immediately Tien is dead, and now Jackie in the background. It's Caps that's on the board. Mako now just a reset away, and the Goomba stops will continue. Caps just gonna finish off a bunch of extra kills. Hansama gets his 4th of the game, and it's all coming up G2.
Top Esports stepped in blind, and G2 just...
So, struggles to be in too many dangerous positions, just with the fact that he is that champion.
I mean, these opportunities to get things like Rift Herald is going to be really big.
Well, they are going to be able to set up for it. That is the Rift Herald going down. Yike
leaning into his side lanes is making it really tough for, you see here, Top Esports to defend these outer structures. Jackie Love and Mako weren't sure whether they needed to assign themselves the mid lane to protect the push from Caps or protect their top lane turret. So G2 doing a really good job of playing off their lane states right now.
369 going aggressive. Yike going to turn up in the nick of time though. The hookshot comes down. There's the Hextech ultimatum Q. That's going to get him out of there with the all out. As now 369 just going to get taken down. Tien going to get the flash out from Yike, but that might be all he gets as Daisy's getting amongst it. Now Caps will finally turn up. The ultimate's going to be there, but it's not going to save anything. And there's another beautiful buffer from Caps to grab the double.
An over tower and the mid tower at the same time. G2 are smoking Top Esports.
I mean, not to talk past this game that much, but G2 have introduced another curveball with the Ivan. You know, there was the Rek'Sai, there's the Zac, there's all these picks that teams are finding ways to deal with, the Poppy being the other big one, and now they've just introduced another one. Scaling still feels like it's in favor of G2 the longer this game goes on.
The big adaptation I want to see is... Oh, hang on.
369 could be in trouble yet again. Broken Blade, though, not quite winning the trade just yet. Needs this Tristana to turn up as rocket jump just to get him amongst it. Q going to miss, though, thankfully, because of a hook shot, and Broken Blade gets out. And that is another kill. In the meantime, Hansama, he's dead on this bottom side. Yikes on a killing spree, though, because Cream has also fallen down. Mickey diving in one more time. I'm not sure about that one, but he's Battle Leona, and Broken Blade had the flank angle. Jackie will be taken down. And now Top Esports find themselves with only a jungler. He's knocked up. Daisy's gone ridiculous and audacious on all that.
He comes in to save the day, and G2 are taking over everything on the map. Caps, though, buffers
That buffer not quite working out here as 369 does have his claws in the Tristana. There's the flash. The Mega Cone should get the Tristana out of there. He will have to, you know, shift some sands, gets himself out, but
Nice reset.
Yeah.
They don't get back. They don't get to
Baron, 4-man strong on the objective. Vision now does go over to top Esports, so they know what's going on, but there are pushes everywhere. In goes Cream, finds the Mega Cone, but Caps has once again buffered the rocket jump. He goes golden to keep himself alive, and now it's top Esports finally finding themselves a team by Caps. He just cannot auto in the fight. BB wants to get one back, and he does kill Jackie Love, but that should be the last of it here, as top Esports will not go down without a fight.
A massive blunder from G2 in this game.
Still they're going to lose an inner turret here as Caps just comes on down, takes that one out. And now forward as Broken Blade looking for TN. Mako is here, lands himself the hook. Caps now looking for that flank angle as TN's going to have to get over the wall. Broken Blade gets in there though. And Cream.
Top Esports look just about as easy as we are.
Tian tries to steal a red buff and he loses his life for it.
G2 have to make it work.
Yep, now they're just looking for a soul. This should go their way as well. It's a 10,000 gold lead at 24 minutes. Tien gonna get Hextech ultimatum, but does immediately break it. That's just not gonna be enough to get him out of dodge though, and Broken Blade gonna grab that kill. Jungler goes down, Drake is gonna be...
A little bit of adaptation on the top side. We've seen this Cassandra for 369 a lot, but oh, actually, hang on.
All right, yeah, Emperor's Divide is going to put, I believe that's Caps, underneath the turret. He survives for a long time, and now Baby makes his way in. They trade mid laners, and G2 are now running amok in the team fight. Solar Flare gonna slow down Jackie Love for the moment, and G2 continue coming forward. Top Esports gonna have to give up their base structures here, as there's a minion wave in mid lane as well. It's going to be inhibitor on the top side, and yes, you managed to kill Caps, but that is all they're going to get, as G2 will destroy their base. There's another Zenith Blade in as Mickey taking a couple of turrets. He doesn't seem like he minds about it at all, as he's now just backing away. Fate's Call isn't... As you can see, the base in absolute tatters. G2 now moving towards this bottom side. 369. He might be Cassandra, but I don't think he's getting out of this one. And Caps, wow, okay, yeah,
that was a tight.
From top Esports. Broken Blade even threatening an end on this Camille. Here they go.
Yeah, there he goes. They do manage to find the stun onto Cream with the Solar Flare, but the Zenith Blade is going to miss. Hook from Mako, though, puts him in, but out of threat for the moment. And G2, they're just going to be focused on making sure that this is as impossible as possible to actually defend the siege.
It's a minute until Baron as well, so I think G2 just keep conga lining these minion waves in, and they can
okay, last-ditch effort as the teleport is coming in. Mako does find himself a hook, but Mickey immediately executes him. Another phenomenal buffer here from Caps with the rocket jump, and now getting himself into position. Hansama's the one that's able to take down the tank, though, and I think G2 are just a little bit too far ahead. These wallets are so heavy, and they're going to use them to knock down these turrets and take game one in the series.
Caps is styling almost done with the rocket jump. It's a stylish game for G2, and just like that, they're one up in the series.
He flashed the FPX logo.
Yep.
He wants to ban the Renata, and maybe it's because they think against the shield wall it would be fine. But the Twisted Fate gonna come out. So again, G2 going with a multi-carry, a threat approach. Funnily enough, coming into this tournament,
information here. Know exactly what's going on. Does G2? We'll see whether they can actually survive this one already. Hansama, some decent damage coming down as the Void Ooze comes on through there. Great flash to avoid the Flag and Drag. And now Mako, he's not going to get bailed out from this one. And Mickey's diving forward. Caps, he's going to get interrupted though. Can't find the rocket jump in. Still Tien, he's going to get stunned. Manages to get out with the Flag and Drag. But they ain't going to keep him alive as it's a double kill for the...
Jackie Love, as Yike is going to secure the third grub.
Yeah, we'll be able to take that one down. Burrows his way out. Destiny,
just going
as
back
Yike says, all right, I'm coming back in again.
But hang on, the bot lane of top Esports is working with Shun to just perma-dive that bot lane. G2 understood their assignment as Caps.
He just dies. Alrighty. He had Buster Shot, he just wasn't able to use it while he was dead. As in the meantime, here on this bottom side of the map, Hansama with that W running, doing a fair bit of work here. There's the stun. The living artillery. Is the bailout going to come through? No, it's not. And once again, the top Esports bottom lane are losing to Mickey X and Hansama, and they are looking for even more. There's the stun. The living artillery through again.
Affecting this kind of late game scaling, but the threat in the early game has been huge. But now Broken Blade will have to pay the price.
Yeah, Tien back up here once again as 369 closes the gap. There's the all-out pushes Broken Blade against the wall, and he'll get knocked up and taken down. 369 grabbing a kill there as Caps continuing.
Very well. The Grubs have been started off by Top Esports. They've brought their bot lane up to try and fight. Hans is also on his way, but I think G2 is going to be a little too late to the party.
Yeah, but he's slightly too late. Gwynsu's Rage Blade was picked up by Hans Samuel, so G2 would love to try and start something, but not going to be the case. Instead, they push out mid and imagine we'll move over towards Dragon.
Exactly, Dacta. I imagine the cross map will come through. Now, Cream with the package does mean that...
package until the Rift Herald in 2 minutes' time, but just trying to keep it in sync with the Dragons is...
Well, there is that package that we were talking about. Rocket Jump does get through as there's the gate. Interrupted by TN, and now Broken Blade, he's going to have to flash if he wants to make it out of this one. He does so, uses the Ghost as well. So he'll survive. Yike takes the Dragon, and there was something
to deal with.
Well, more aggression here towards the bottom side of the map. Could be a dive opportunity as the Glacial Fissure does not find its mark. There's the flash knock-up, though, as Jackie Love flashes, get himself out of the way. The bailout comes on through, and he's not going to survive through it. Tien now having to flash, but it's not going to work out for him either, because he's just between a rock, a hard place, and then dead. Yike now under the turret, and it's a triple for topside instead. So maybe miscommunication, something like that, just not quite finding what they needed to. As now Broken Blade with no flash, I think should be going down here as 269 gets over the Cataclysm wall. And there it is. So the Twisted Fate down once again. They'll trade it for a Rift Herald though, and maybe some more here towards the top side. Glacial Fissure going to be avoided nicely with the Valkyrie from Cream, who does still have to flash to get himself out of the way. Mickey in a bit of trouble now as Yike from the side. This one's a dicey dive, though, if they do want to go for it, and I don't think they will. With some of the best skins in the game. All right, well, Mako could be in trouble here. Winter's Bite going to connect, puts up the door. There's the stun, and look at these 80 carries. They just wail on him, and Mako did not stand a chance. Now the Rift Herald comes down to the mid lane. That should be this turret going down as well, and G2's lead is only going to further extend. As Top Esports, I think they'll be lucky to defend their inner turret here off the back of this one. As Mickey X, he wants even more. Not going to find the Glacial Fissure once again, though, as Yike will be interrupted. To get them a Drake, though, because he was back in the shop with Boris. And so the Ocean Drake will be secure.
You're basically moving Mickey back and forth between mid and bot to make sure this package doesn't get value, and it won't.
Well, it is going to be used underneath this turret as Destiny comes on forward. Cream is really dead, guys. Super duper dead.
And I think it's desperation from Top Esports.
And there's the ult forward as well from Yike. As Jackie Love, he's going to have to flash. That's not going to save him, though. Gold Cut comes in, and it's another double for Hans Sama. Caps on the top side of the map trying to deal with this massively fed Cassante. He's got the Ghost, and he will get the flash out of Caps.
369. He's TPing.
That's a teleport. He just needs to get himself out of there, I think, is the situation.
Yep.
Turret continue the pressure for G2 as Jackie Love will push this wave into the outer turret in mid. Finally, a Glacial Fissure is going to land onto Jackie Love, and there are the stacks. Yike comes in, finds the Prey Seeker, and there is the ulti to finish it off. And Jackie Love, I really hope that Kerry isn't watching this. He's not an engaged champion, okay? As Top Esports now looking to try and stop this Baron, but it's going down so incredibly fast. G2 looking for the turn. Destiny does come on through as there is Mickey taking down 369. The biggest threat on the team is Tien. I'm not sure about that Cataclysm, but he wants to try and deny a Baron. He takes forever to go down, but he will be taken out in the end. The Baron secured. The Whirling Death does more scaling champions. It does a lot of damage in the late game. Apparently that's not how it is. You just kind of slaughter everyone all the time.
And 2-0-12, dumbfounded right now at the level of play we're seeing from G2.
And it's a completely different draft. Outside of the Tristana, it's a completely different draft from what we saw in game number 1. But it's still a very similar shellacking coming on through here as they're now pushing on this inhibitor turret towards the bottom side. Cream trying to do what he can. The Glacial Fissure goes wide. They do try and get themselves out of there. That is a turret going down on the top side, but it means the Cassante isn't here. The most important member of this team. He's now going to have to look for a back angle to try and save this inhibitor, but it's not going to work out. This is definitely dead, but can G2 get more is the question. Mid lane inhibitor turret has been set up as the flash forward from Mickey once again gets the package onto Jackie Love. He blocks the Whirling Death as well, and now G2 are looking to get themselves out. They'll burrow, they'll rocket jump, and they'll be just fine. As Tien looking for his opportunity. Let's see whether he can find at least a target to try and focus on, but Cream's already down to 50%. The Buster Shot, too good from Caps, and the door is being placed. Massive damage to come out here, and the Cogmore is spitting mad onto Top Esports. This might just be it. Jackie Love just explodes, and Mickey, he's immortal.
5 alive for G2, 5 dead on the side of top esports. Just like that, 24 minutes, 30 seconds, G2 will wipe out top esports.
What was that? What an incredible team fight from G2. 12-0-7. If there's ever a way to silence the doubters, Hans Sommer, that is the best way.
Yeah, I think this for G2 is kind of a, hey, we want to let, oh, wait a sec.
Yeah, there's a hook shot once again as Hans Sommer could be in trouble. The exhaust has to be used onto Mako, and that's understandable. Level 4. And is very scary as now Jackalove with so many sticks into Mickey. He's gonna have to flash, but there's a flash after him. And now First Blood goes the other way. And Jackalove will pick up a double. Draven still managing to get a kill there as the Trigger Seed landing on this bottom side. Jackalove
against Gen G was Mako starting that comeback. When he came into Game 3, he was bringing out the Alistair, having this insane performance. But
there's the all-out special delivery of the Udyr towards Yike, who will be able to land the stun. Follows up as well as now 369. I don't think he's going to have anywhere to go. Does have the Ghost running, but Broken Blade will be able to keep up. Finds the Q and finds the kill.
Done by Broken Blade to get the knockback right as Yike is there. Void Grubs will still go the way of top esports, but a big win for Broken Blade on that top side, just getting some much needed gold and some much needed help.
But you know, that is the pros and cons of Cap. Sometimes you get crap, sometimes you get claps, and overall he is having an incredible tournament.
He certainly is. Now taking a fair bit of damage here in this mid lane as Mako turns up, finds the Hextech sweep as now Yike not going to be able to get the stun. Good buster shot on Mako. Yeah, he's up the creek and he does not have a paddle. That is going to be the first kill for Caps. He's on the board.
This time around, Vetty, he baits them in perfectly with the jump and the shield coming through, and even having Mickey as a cohort in that play as well. Nicely done by G2. You can see TN waiting up the side, but round 2.
All out does come on through here from Broken Blade as 369 in trouble, and the Casante's got a few more buttons in the tank and we'll be able to get that dash on over. Q gonna connect, and that should spell the end of 369. The Udyr just not working.
Still with the control over these neutral objectives though, they've gotten the first 3 grubs of the game. They're gonna secure the first dragon to boot. A relatively late one once again, 10.5.
Placed by the blue buff, so gonna be able to back away instead. They don't want to try and take that fight, but no, it happens again.
Yeah, BB, it's all right. I've seen this one before. This time he's going to bring him underneath the turret. Yike is also there to try and help out. Ghost getting 369 a bit of distance here, but BB's still going to find that Q. Another snare is going to connect, and Daisy now comes out. And 369, surely that Ghost is going to run out relatively soon. Does get to the safety.
Objectives will be secured. Top esports still in good control of this early game.
The reset from Hans Sama and Mickey later than Jackalove and Mako, so top esports know that they would have had the reinforcements coming through quicker, so they managed to force that play through with 369 teleporting in.
Yeah, Daisy gets amongst it. She has a health bar, even if Yike doesn't. Cap's going to teleport back to lane. Will help pick up all of that CS. Now Mickey could be in trouble. Hookshot comes down. There's a Hextech ultimatum, and they just execute the Nico. Once again,
Udyr, you can see the Mastercard lane economy snapshot, 400 gold lead. He's going to be able to already have the Caden Broker and then go the Iceborne Gauntlet.
Push wave after wave in there. The gold difference, only about 600, barely anything between these two, and it's a much better look for top esports. As another Q back there from Broken Blade, but 369 just caring less and less, it feels like, as we're having a look at it in
the reset coming through from BB as well. He just, well, I'd imagine picked up his Iceborne Gauntlet, so they're not really looking to fight right now, and more than likely be for the next dragon where they
just testing the waters, seeing where they're allowed to go on this map right now. As Cream gonna have to Valkyrie to get out of the way of BB, and now TN diving forward, doesn't quite find his opportunity as the Rift Herald heads down towards that bottom side. They've got one of their own, though, in Daisy, who will pop up and try and do some damage back. Rift Herald's going to be able to take that one down. There's the flash. Pop Blossom only onto one, but Tien still going to have to flash to get himself out of the way. And now the Fate's Call onto Mako. He's going to dive in. They take down Mickey. Hextech ultimatum comes in as well as Broken Blade goes all out. But Ansama, he'll cash in. That's so much.
The edge as well. They might not be done the flank TP.
Yeah, Yike looking for that opportunity. The Valkyrie not going to quite be enough here. He does still have the flash available as Broken Blade. He can tank this one up for as long as he wants. That flash was not exactly the one they were looking for as BB still tanking it up, and it's another shutdown going over to Hans Sama.
Right before the dragon spawns as well, G2 managed to find a lot of these punishing picks. 369 still pushing in against Caps though. Caps will need a reset before this dragon really becomes a factor, but 369 hovering.
As he tries to keep Broken Blade isolated, but then Broken Blade uses his ulti to set up for Mako to lose his life. The first Hans doesn't know that Tian's there.
Yeah. They have control vision in the area as now the Pop Blossom is going to be used onto Jackie Love. He gets snared, but in the meantime, Hansama, he has to flash into the Baron pit. He's alive for a while, but there is the Void Rush. Broken Blade will be able to take down Cream, though, and they're running out of damage on the side of top esports. Caps is going to go down as well, though, and it's a 3 versus 3. Broken Blade, realizing he's the last one that can really do too much. He takes down Mako. 3 versus 2 now. Tien and 369 trying to get something done, but I don't think 369 is going to be able to do it. Tien also realizing he cannot offer anything in the fight, and the knockback onto this Udyr, who just cannot do it. He'll get knocked up. Daisy gets involved. It took a while, fast enough.
They got to keep Tien out of the pit.
Daisy comes down as well. Exactly right. It's all about this Rek'Sai and his positioning. They know exactly where he is. Now, can they find it? There's no package. Oh, God! Either, and there it is. It's going to be secured.
This whole year that they wanted to improve, that right there was a perfect example of it. Broken Blade just trading with 369. They knew the timers. They were setting up for the Baron.
G2 is so much positional advantage.
And Top Esports did get to reset, but the Dragon already taken. Mickey spotted. Top Esports want the fight.
Yeah, Mickey, they are going to find the right one here as Tien may have chased a little bit too far, taking so much burst damage as now Daisy gets in amongst the Cream. What was that? He's just going to get executed by the
G2 marching down the bot lane. It's still a minute left on this Baron buff. They will not let up.
And without Cream, it's going to be so hard to defend. This inhibitor turret should be going down, and look at Broken Blade. It's exactly what you were talking about, Dagda. He is impossible to stop. His health bar just keeps going. The inhibitor will be taken down here, and G2, they're poised for the 3-0.
They have the Nexus in their eyes. They're not gonna stop.
This Cream only just respawned, and will now be just executed on the fountain. There is another one for Hansama. G2 will take down the first Nexus turret.
Come on, you boys!
About revenge for G2 in Tian's home turf. They will take down Top Esports and knock them out of the tournament.
This was not the way today was supposed to go! This was not what was supposed to happen for Top Esports!
The Nexus will finally get focused, but I think G2 want a few extra kills. Caps grabs one as Cream's back in the death chamber. There goes Tien. It's a double for the Triss, make it a triple, and there goes the Nexus. A 3-0 for G2.
And we're back here for the Verizon post-game interview with G2 Esports, the winner, crushing victory today against Top Esports. First things first, Mickey, I feel like you had a revenge to take today.
Yeah, it was a nice one. We were talking a little bit with Tian in the pre-game lobby, so yeah, it was nice to just get our revenge for once.
I saw you flashing the FPX emote, anything?
Yeah. So in the pre-game chat, Tian wrote that he got his G2 emote ready from 2019. So then I told him, okay, I got my FPX one, so I had to go and get it on, and I only put it for victory and ace.
Perfect. I mean, yeah, you have to time your emote timings. That's how you win the mental war here, actually. Yeah, like, crushing series, but I also feel like statement series for you. We've talked about you facing off against Tien. I know that you were looking for a victory like this. What does it mean to you to get this one today against Top Esports?
I think it means a lot because, yeah, I don't know, last time we actually won against an Asian team, like Europe won against Europe won against an Asian team. It's been like such a long time, and I've always been like 5 years ago, I was, watching G2 win against them, and I was like so excited. And then we were always losing, but then we actually managed to win it finally. So I'm very, very happy. I'm very proud of myself and my team.
You said it yourself. You tweeted it before the game. As I said, a revenge to take on here. Tell me about the preparation coming against Top Esports, because they didn't fight that much. The last game maybe, but it was a really one-sided one here.
Yeah, I feel like we prepare a lot more than this. At least like both T1 and Top Esports were. I don't feel like they prepared so much. I think we had better drafts like every game. Maybe third game was a bit weird, but overall I think we had better drafts, and yeah, I think we just talk so much in reviews and we learn so much, and yeah, we're just doing much better.
And I do feel like when I think about the improvements, they have to be coming from bot lane, especially, and you knew, Mickey, that coming up against Top Esports, they're going to be aggressive in the very first moments of the game. Tell me about the synergy with Hansama and the confidence also to play the way you guys did.
Yeah, I mean, I think me and Hans were pretty much on the same page all the games, maybe not the last one. Last one we were like a little bit out of sync, so we died. But I think the first two games, it was mostly just them being like very disrespectful, it felt like. Because like they should never win the level 2. Like in the first game, they just got caught, and then Varfol stayed with 10 HP, and I had Hex Flash, so I killed him as well, and he used Flash. And in the other game, I think maybe just weren't prepared for Kog'Maw Braum, like how it works. So yeah.
I mean, I do feel like when teams become disrespectful, this is also when you guys get carried away. Tell me about refraining the aggression today and just like staying focused so that the game doesn't slip from your hands.
Yeah, I mean, we always talk about just like staying in the present moment and not get ahead of ourselves, and just always being game 1. So yeah, even when we were ahead, we just took it very seriously. We prepared as much as possible, discussed every possibility. Maybe not blind picking support in the third game, but
It happens.
you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think the staff is just helping us so much with staying in the blue zone, that we call it, and I think we're very, very like in the zone right now when we play the games.
From the T1 series to the PSG series to maybe crushing one of the favorites we have in the tournament today, how do you foresee the rest of the tournament? We don't know the opposition yet, but maybe a rematch against T1 coming.
Yeah, that'll be hype.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be T1 or Team Liquid. Either one, I think it's going to be very hype because we get the rematch against T1, and I think we really want to beat them this time. And if it's Team Liquid, then we have to revenge for Fnatic, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and also I think if we win every game now, I think we have to play every single opponent like that is left.
Yeah.
So I think that'll be very nice and very rewarding if we actually win against everyone, because then we're actually the best. Because in 2019 we didn't actually beat IG even once, so it felt a little bit like iffy. But now if we actually make a whole gauntlet run, I think it was gonna feel nice.
It'll be a statement run. We'll see about this one, guys. Thank you so much, and
Thank you.
on behalf of the West, of course. Shox, over to you.
Thank you so much. Nice call out there to 2019.
I really like the mindset.
That's good.
Because it just means they're continually hungry. Like, I got no sense of job done from them in that interview.
No.
So.
Well, they shouldn't, because if you can beat TES, sky's the limit, right?
And if you know what? We're just going to toss to another interview because, as I said, Caps was being interviewed by Candice on stage, and we'll head over to that.
欢迎来到我们的骚采访，我是主持人云上瑶。恭喜 G2 获得本场比赛的胜利。我们邀请到的是 Caps 选手来接受我们的采访，先有请他和大家打声招呼。Congratulations! Would you like to say hello to all the fans over here?
Hello everyone! Thank you for the support.
好的，也是再一次恭喜他们获得本场比赛的胜利。其实呢 ，G2 在国际大赛当中总是给人带来惊喜，同时这一次的 MSI 让人感觉他们是有备而来，完美的准备。所以想知道他们为了这一次的 MSI 究竟做了多少的准备呢？G2 is always well prepared in international tournament and is always cook something behind. So what's the preparation like for G2 for this MSI?
Yeah, we definitely want to come up with as many creative picks and try to catch people off guard. And as soon as we won the LEC, it was just straight to figuring out some combos and seeing what was good on the patch, so we could do our best at MSI.
我们总是想要去有一些比较创造性的组合，同时能够将对手打一个措手不及。当我们能够赢下 LEC 的时候，我们其实就已经开始着手准备这一切的 BP 也好，战术也好，能够好好的准备这一次的 MSI。那我们看到呢，其实在今天的赛前的比赛当中，他们在他们的准备室里面有进行一些热身的小游戏，很想知道这也是他们赛训的一部分吗？有对于今天的比赛一个怎样的帮助呢 ？We saw very special warm-up game in the ready room today. Is this also part of the preparation of the MSI? So how does that help for you guys?
Yes, we wanted to try out something new, trying to play the spike ball before our game today. And we just wanted to keep have a good energy coming into the game, get a bit of movement going, and it was actually the first time we tried it, and it looked like it worked out great.
确实，我们的赛训组一直在尝试一些新的东西，能够让我们在比赛之前能够好好的热身。同时，我们觉得这个好像确实在今天比赛当中有了不错的作用。那今天看到他们有使用这个艾翁的打野，在这个版本当中其实并不是非常常见的。很想知道他对于这个艾翁打野是怎么样看待的，同时和其他的打野又有怎样的不同呢？In the current meta, the Ivan is not very commonly seen. So, what do you think of the Ivan jungle, and what's the difference between Ivan and the other jungles?
Yes, Ivan is definitely an underutilized champion. I think he can be a bit weird with his clear because he has to mark the camps and then go back for them. And then of course he has a lot more shields and utility than necessarily damage. And it was actually a champion we were playing even last year, so now we're bringing it back this year.
我觉得爱汪打野其实更是功能型的打野，它其实在清野方面的路线不太一样，因为它需要去标记野怪，同时在之后呢取得这个野怪的经验值或者是其他的东西。但是爱汪打野呢，它可能会有更多的像盾啊，或者是帮助其他队友的这种功能性辅助的感觉。那同样的，我们其实在去年就已经使用了爱汪打野，所以我们只是把去年我们准备的东西拿到今天的这个比赛当中。那可以看到呢，其实在今天的比赛当中 ，G2 有展现出来他们的纪律性，因为之前的 G2 一直是以他们的进攻性打法而闻名。那这一次他们究竟做了多少的努力，能够提升他们的这些纪律性，尤其是在这一些大龙团的方面呢 ？So G2 is known for the aggressive play style, but today you show a totally different G2 with the discipline within the team. So how much effort did you put into that?
So definitely we realized that our comps are a bit too hectic, like we are just talking all over each other and a lot of screaming, so we were trying to just like calm it down a bit for today. And I think when we play a bit more calm, it definitely helps out a lot.
因为来到这一次的 MSI， 我们其实打得过于的兴奋了，我们一直都可能会是大喊大叫，所以这一次我们的比赛呢，试图能够让自己冷静下来，我们慢慢的打，能够沉着冷静的打这一场 BO5。那最后一个问题，他们即将要和 Team Liquid 和 T1 的胜者在下一个阶段交手，他对于下一场比赛是怎样预测的 ？So you're going to play against the winner of Team Liquid and T1. What's your prediction of the next series?
So actually, I was talking with Appa, and I hear he was very confident going against T1. But we went up against them before, and we know they're a very strong team. So I'm probably gonna have to give it to T1.
因为我之前和 Team Liquid 的中单选手 APA 有过交谈，他似乎看起来是非常自信的。但是因为我们跟 T1 之前有过交手，我们觉得 T1 是一支非常强力的队伍，所以我可能还是要预测 T1 会获得这一场比赛的胜利了。那我想问问 Caps 有没有准备好？如果说 T1 能够获胜的话，他们的复仇之战有没有做好准备呢 ？So are you ready for the revenge if T1 win the next series?
We'll definitely do better this time.
那我们这一次一定会做得更好。那也是再一次感谢 Caps 来接受我们的采访。我们的赛后采访到此先告一段落，我们明天同一时间还会再见。
Thank you.
Thank you, Caps and Candace. Oh, his smile is so wholesome the whole time. We did not get to talk to someone who is very important today, but I know we are getting some at the BSI, but he's our Oppo player of the series. Who else but Hans Sama, after getting shredded to bits after the T1 series, you know, by myself included, by just about everyone, he does this.
He did a lot of shredding himself, both with Kalista and building LDR in that, in that final game.
We were so happy.
This has been, in my opinion, the biggest glow up that a player has had in between two series. By I mean, like a pretty substantial margin.
If you count the T1 series to now as in between, because I thought he was great in PSG series.
Sure.
As well.
Yeah,
but I don't think.
But Jackie Love isn't Betty. That doesn't mean that Betty's great, right? But
I mean, just the fact that like, if we were to flip this around and like switch the nameplates, no one would have been like shocked, and everyone would have just flamed the living out of Hans Sama if, you know, they lose both sides of the Draven matchup. Like literally the fact that it was flipped like this was so incredible by Hans Sama and Mickey in the grand scheme of the tournament.